This video will be approximately 5 minutes long. The purpose of this video is to show people, potential buyers, that this is a perfectly running clock. You'll notice that it'll stay running throughout the entire video. And I will also show you how the clock is adjusted so that it is properly adjusted, because it's very fragile. Upon shipping, it will almost definitely need to be balanced, because the balancing on the escapement of this clock is so minute. It is so fragile and dead on. It is to the millimeter. You'll note the time right now. It's about just almost 2 minutes to 11 a.m. on Wednesday, November 21st. And if you notice the subdials and the time on the clock, it shows the same as the timestamp on this video. And if you notice throughout the video, everything will change as it should. I'm going to take the dome off the clock without bumping into the camera here, so that you can see the clock without a glare. You'll notice the glass on this dome is very, very thick and very old. Has the original air bubbles to show the age on the glass. Although I don't think this clock is as old as it looks to be. I can't tell the exact age of the clock, but I don't believe it to be an antique. I think it's more vintage than antique. The Fusee movement is fully wound. I have the key here. You'll notice the barrel is fully wound. And after you can watch it running properly for a few minutes, I'll take the video camera around the clock so you can see where the adjustment would be made after shipping. I'm now going to take you for a close-up video so that you can see where you notice the marble base, and there are beautiful brass fun feet under the marble base. You notice the moon phase dial is enameled. It looks like it's fired on enameled porcelain, and the clouds have been hand painted. The chapter ring is in perfect condition. You can see the number 1 is not missing anything. All of the ones are shaped the same way, so that's not missing paint. And you have your day of the month, your winding arbor for the Fusee spring, and your day of the week. And if you look, you'll have your chain-driven Fusee movement. It's on a cone. And now here is the tricky part. When you receive the clock, this right here, this escapement, is what is going to have to be adjusted. It is very delicate, it is very spot on, and it is to the millimeter. I've been doing this for a very long time, and it took me about 25 minutes to get the clock balanced. So if you are better than me, great. If you're a novice, don't get discouraged if it takes you a little bit longer. It's just adjusting those forks to the left or to the right minutely. I mean, a millimeter to the left or right or less is all it takes until you get the right beat to keep the clock running. You'll notice that the pendulum hangs. I'm just going to slide the glass out of the way. I'm going to stop the clock for a moment, and you'll notice that the pendulum hangs back here. And it hangs from here. And you want to definitely make sure, this is part of the balancing, that the screw on the back side of the pendulum bob faces out to the back of the clock. Hang that back on here and slide that between the forks. And you want to make sure that it sits dead center so that there's no friction. And then you start the clock again. And if you'll note the time, we went a little bit over because of the instructions. And I stopped the clock. But the video has been a little over 9 minutes right now. I'm going to stop the video at the exact 10-minute mark. And if you note the time that the clock started to the time that the clock stopped, and just take away half a minute or less for the time that I stopped the clock, the movement is dead on accurate.